Okay, so colors, wissen, and emphasis words. So colors. How do you say the phrase up there? Die Farbe. What's that mean? The color. Yeah, so.
The color or the colors? Oh.
Die Farbe is color. Die Farben is colors. Okay. Wie sagt man red? Rot. Gut. Orange? Orange or orange. Mm-hmm. Yellow? Gelb. Good. How do you spell it? B. If you put a D at the end, that means money. Okay, so everybody try that one again. Gelb.
Gelb.
How do you say orange again?
Orange.
Red?
Rot.
Good. Danke, Blake. Green. Groen. Everybody, groen. Blue? Blau. Purple? Lila. Heidi hat lila Haare. Black. Schwarz. How do you spell it?
SCHWARZ.
Good. No T. People commonly put the T in there. That is incorrect. Schwarz. Everybody try that one again. Schwarz.
Schwarz.
Good. White. Weiß. Don't throw things, Zeke. Just next time get up and walk it there. Don't throw things in my room.
Doesn't that mean like no too?
Good. Doesn't that mean to know, too? Okay, moving on. The next one is gray. Grau. How do you spell it? Good. This one is gray. Huh? The spelling of it in English?
Yeah.
EY or AY, both work. I spell it EY.
No.
Definitely.
But it doesn't matter. They're both correct. It doesn't matter.
Gray with an E is like, never mind, I can't say it.
Is it with an A is the colors?
I have no idea. Both of them work. That's all I care about. Okay, moving on. Next one is pink. How do you say it?
Rose.
Pink.
Oh, wait.
In German.
Isn't that-
Rosa.
I had it. I was too scared to say it.
Oh, I heard you say it. You weren't scared to say it. You just weren't as loud as normal. Guys, that's pink, just in case there's only so much you can do with color schemes in explain everything. Okay, next one. That's brown.
Brown.
How do you spell it?
B-R-A-U-N.
Richtig.
Okay, no.
Brown. When you had the E at the end, it might have been because you're describing your hair or your eyes. So if you did it, ich habe braune Augen und braune Haare. That. Okay, so that's an adjective ending. That's why I was there. Okay, now we have hot pink. That's the one that's pink, yep. This, no, we've already done gray. This one, like I said, is hard to, it's not like you can do sparkly stuff on explain everything. So that one's silver. Wie sagt man silver? Silber. With a B. So the next one, is supposed to be gold. Wie sagt man gold? Nope, that's yellow. Or did you say Geld? No.
Gold.
Gold. Yeah. It's the same.
Oh, geez. Hey.
This last one is supposed to be beige.
That's not beige. That is
That's
not
like
beige.
eggshell.
For the record, for the ones like hot pink and beige and whatnot, I actually Googled the codes for them, like the programming codes, and inputted that into the like color scheme thing. So this is what the internet says beige is.
What?
Yeah, so it wasn't just me randomly picking off of a color wheel. I actually put in the correct color code. So, wie sagt man beige? Beige. It's the same. Yeah.
Never would have
Wow, I
guessed.
never guessed that.
Well, some of you didn't say anything, so
Oh. You took A's out here.
okay. Anybody know what dunkel means? Dark. Yeah. So let's try that. Dunkel. Okay. So if you're gonna say like dark blue, you put dunkel in front of blue. So then how do you say dark blue? Dunkelblau. So you could put in whatever color you need there, as long as it makes sense. Like don't put dunkelschwarz or something.
Yeah.
Dark bias.
That's a thing.
Dark white.
Somebody yesterday was asking for this other word. Okay. How do you say this one? Hell. Okay. Hell can mean light or bright. So, yeah. So, kind of makes sense if you think about it. Okay. So you could say hellblau. And what does hellblau mean? Light blue. Wow. That was great, Sully. Good work on that one.
They talked to me, I was like, I didn't even do anything.
Nice, Brooke. There we go. That's an A. It's not BBU.
I was
It
gonna
looks
say.
like yeah, honestly, yeah.
Here. L A. There we go.
There you go.
Yay!
Oh, yeah, yeah. Got it.
I don't do English well. Okay. Okay. Sure. All right. Wie sagt man, what color is the skirt? Nope. It's not was. Say again? Nope. That would be what kind of color? There you go. They wouldn't use was, they would use welche. Okay? So welche. Ethan, why don't you put away the smashed can and focus on this?
Oh, because in the final it was like Belgium.
Uh-huh.
Classic is stupid. Oh yeah.
Yep. They use welche a lot. So we say what all the time. Okay, so welche Farbe? Then what? Ist der Rock. Okay, everybody try that. Welche Farbe ist der Rock? Rock. So a couple people getting like a U sound in there instead. So it's not rook, but rock. Okay. All right. Now, if we're going to talk about the skirt, we're not going to use S to say it, because the skirt is a masculine object. Okay. So that means if you look over here at this blue chart behind me, along the far left, you see where it says der and er?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So if it was a der word, and you're referring back to it, the correct form of er, or the correct form of it is now er. Okay? If you look down directly underneath it, it says D and then feminine. So if it was a D word, you're going to use Z. If it was a das word, then you use S. Okay? So since it's der Rock, we're going to use er. Okay? So we're going to say the skirt is what we're referring to, so our first word is it, so now we're going to have er. Okay, so we're not saying he is trendy or chic. Okay, we're saying it. Does that make sense? Okay. What comes next? Ist. And they actually use this word. Not as common as it used to be. They often use trendy and stuff now too. Okay. Because it's trendy to use American words, yeah? Okay. So, ist schick. Okay. It's like saying it's fashionable, it's trendy, it's, you know, looks good, yeah? Mhm. Okay?
No.
Eigentlich nicht. Okay. Verb T. So what does wissen mean? To know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just talked about this earlier. Okay, so this is when you're talking about to know, like a fact. Okay. If you're talking about knowing a person or knowing a city or something like that, then it's kennen, so it's different verb. Okay. This one is a little goofy. Okay. You know how to conjugate it for ich, because we just talked about that earlier. How do you conjugate it for ich? Weiß. Good. For this one, er, sie, es, and man is exactly the same. Okay? Just copy that down. What's a normal verb ending for do? ST. Yep. Since we already end the verb in an S, we're not going to add an extra one. Okay, so we're just going to add the T. Okay, so ich weiß, du weißt, er, sie, es, man weiß. Then the right side's back to normal. Okay. So wir, what's that going to be? Wissen. Good. Ihr? Wisst. Und sehen Sie? Wissen. Gut.
Why would they use like the S just for like the normal word as it is?
It's based on the vowel sound that it follows. So, since it's a long I sound, you use the S set after it. It's a short I sound on the second, or on the other side. So,
you wouldn't use
it's
the
two
S
S's.
set for the right side of the chart?
Correct. The right side should be two single S's. The left side should be an S set. Okay. It's one of those, when you say it, it sounds, you couldn't differentiate between two S's or an S set, but there are rules. Some Germans care, some don't. There's a lot of fighting about it. I'm not even joking. I mean, it's, yeah. Because they used to have, back in about 2000 or so, they had something called the Rechtschreibungen. And so words like das, which means that, like when you're using it as a conjunction. So I know, comma, that, blah, 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 used to be written with an S set. And now it's two S's. And there's some people who refuse to follow the new rule because they think it's dumb. So, I mean, there's all sorts of weird things that came out then. There are textbooks on the Rechtschreibungen and stuff that, so it's a big deal over there. So, okay. All right. Moving on. So the next thing. There are things in German called emphasis or flavoring words. And these are really goofy things to try and explain to somebody. But for whatever reason, they decided chapter 7 in your book is a really good place to teach it to you. Okay? So, these are words that exist with meanings in the German language. But when you're using them in this type of a scenario, you're actually just using them to add emphasis. So you're not going to actually translate it when you're doing the sentence. Okay? You've seen these a lot throughout your book already. So sometimes you'll come across a word and you'll just say, it's an emphasis word, just ignore it and move on. Okay? So you've seen a bunch of them already. So now we're going to start getting into using them. The goofy thing about them is that it makes you sound more German. I don't really quite know how to explain it to you, but it puts a little extra emphasis on certain things, and I don't know, it just makes it less textbook sounding. I'm not quite sure how to explain it other than that. Jacob, when you were over there, you heard this quite a bit?
Oh, what?
The emphasis words and stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll find out soon. Okay? But they are used. They're used kind of as filler or putting emphasis on something. So there's a bunch of different ways that it can be used. So we're going to go through some of the different emphasis words. We'll talk about what they actually mean, and then talk about how you could use them, okay? So, yeah. So the first one, aber. What does aber normally mean? But, yeah. So we'll write down the regular meanings. Okay? but now we're going to be using it as an emphasis word. So when you read the sentence, du bist aber klug, if you translated it in your sentence, it would not make sense, right? What does klug mean?
Smart.
Smart. Good. Okay. So then you could say to somebody, du bist klug. You are smart. When you put the aber into it, you're adding a little bit of extra flavor to it. Du bist aber klug. Okay? And you could be sarcastic or not sarcastic. Okay? So most of the time when I would say that phrase, I'd probably be sarcastic. Okay? Because du bist aber klug, you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be used that way. It could also be used in a positive manner. Okay? What about das? Oh, so if you translated du bist aber klug, if you translated the aber, you are but smart. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean?
Could you like change around and say like, but you are smart? Like if you're.
Aber du bist klug? You mean?
Yeah.
Then you'd be using it as a conjunction. So then it's kind of like, but you are smart. You know, so kind of like, yeah, you'll figure it out, but you're smart. You'll get there. So, yeah, if it's in the middle of a sentence, then it's more of the emphasis word. But if you put it before the you are smart, then you're using it as a conjunction. So, okay. The next one, das war aber hektisch. What do you think hektisch means? Hectic. So das war aber hektisch. Oh, that was hectic. You know what I mean? So instead of just saying that was hectic, it's very, it's almost clinical. Do you know what I mean? It's very so that was hectic. Very matter of fact, you know, but if you put the aber in there, oh, that was hectic. You know, it changes how the sound, or how it sounds to people. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. So denn. Anybody know what denn means? No? Means because. Okay. So denn could be used as a conjunction, you know, like I know that you're smart because I know you well. Something like that. Okay, but if you're using it in a different context, warum bist du denn hier? So if you get rid of the denn, why are you here? Very harsh, right? Warum bist du denn hier? Oh, it almost makes it sound like you're more surprised. Oh, why are you here? Do you know what I mean? Okay. Or wer bist du denn? If you just said wer bist du, what does that mean? Who? Wer bist du? Not wo bist du. Who are you? So if you go up to somebody and say wer bist du, that's very harsh sounding. Who are you? If it's wer bist du denn, it's like, oh, somebody's new here. Who are you? You know, it sounds more pleasant. Yeah, you know this one. What does ja mean? Yeah. Okay. Ja can be used as a flavoring word too. Okay. So if you just said du weißt, what does that mean? You know. Yeah, you just had that verb. So du weißt, wie ich heiße. Close. You know my name. You know how I'm called. Yeah. So you know my name. Okay. So if somebody was kind of, you know, what's your name? Blah blah blah. You could say to him, du weißt ja wie ich heiße. Like, yeah, you know what my name is. So it could almost add a little bit of an annoyance if you add it in there correctly. You know what I mean? Okay. Or ich kenne sie ja. Ich kenne sie. What is that? I know her. So if you say ich kenne sie, I know her. Done. If you add the ja in there, lightens it up a little bit, so you could say ich kenne sie ja. Oh yeah, I know her. Just a little less harsh. Adds a little bit more flavor to it. The next one is one of my favorite German words. Not because of how you say it, but what it is. It's one of the goofy words that they have in German that we don't have in English. It's fantastic. Did you learn this one while you were there? Doch?
I heard it.
You heard it, yeah, it's used all the time. Okay? Your family uses it all the time too?
Oh yeah.
Alright, so everybody try this one. Doch. One more time. Doch. Okay. Doch is a really, really goofy word. So what it actually means is, on the contrary, but you can only use it when you're trying to indicate something to a positive. So I'll explain in a second here. So on the contrary. Okay? So if I said that book is bad, you could respond to me with doch. And simply by using that one word, you were indicating, on the contrary, it's a good book. But if I said the book is good, you cannot say doch, because then you're indicating that the book is bad, and that's a negative thing.
Okay.
Isn't it?
What?
It's kind of cool though, right? Like that concept doesn't exist. Do you know how long it took me to figure that out? Using it wrong all the time, probably for like 3 months while I was living there, and then finally somebody said, "Okay, here's how this works." Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you. You know, yep.
Do you only use it for positive things, like you can't use it for negative things?
You cannot use it to indicate that something is negative.
Okay.
So if you tell me that's a pretty dress, I cannot say doch, because then the dress is not pretty anymore. That's a negative. But you could do it the other way around. Yeah. Danke.
Why can't it be a negative? Is it
It's just how the word works.
Okay.
It just, again, it's something we don't have. It doesn't exist in the English language.
Well, that's great.
I know, I love this word, right? Like I'm getting all riled up about this word.
Is there a word like for the negative?
No. Mm-mm. I mean, sometimes you can take doch and add nicht to it and use it in that context, but by itself, no, there's no word for it. Okay? But they use it all the time. All the time. One of the most commonly used words, I would say, in German. Okay? But then you can also just use it for emphasis. So, like, bring doch eine CD mit. What does bring eine CD mit mean? Yeah, bring a CD with. Bring along a CD. Yeah? Adding the doch in there is just adding that bit of emphasis, just like the rest of them. So, bring doch eine CD mit. Like, bring a CD with. Jeez, you know, come on. Okay? Or das hat sie doch gesagt. Doch in particular, to me, sounds like somebody's kind of annoyed. Okay, when they're using it in there. So das hat sie doch gesagt. That's past tense. Okay? Sagen, to say or to tell. Okay? So if you just said das hat sie gesagt, she said that. Or that's what she said. Okay? When you add the doch in there, it's, you know, like if I give a set of instructions and somebody says, you know, could you tell me what to do for this part? And one of you could yell out, das hat sie doch gesagt. You know, she already said that. You know, come on, get with it. So, you know what I mean? This one in particular, I love this word, obviously. But it's used a lot, and usually in that kind of a context.